Hey guys, so I just got out of the screening for Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright, starring Thomasin McKenzie, Anna Taylor-Joy, Matt Smith, and the story is basically this. It's a girl, we follow the story of Thomasin McKenzie, who loves the 60s, she wants to be a fashion designer, and she just gets into school in London. And when she moves into this apartment, all of a sudden, it takes her, when she dreams, when she falls asleep, it takes her back into the 60s where she follows this character played by Anna Taylor-Joy, Sandy, the singer, and she follows along her journey. And that's pretty much the story because I don't want to go into spoiler territory because honestly, the marketing for this film has been great. The marketing is top notch, and I think they did a really good job with not spoil the film, to not give you the big key things. And I feel like trailers today do that a lot, but I just had to, say that as one of the positives. The marketing, really good. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this movie is the performances, specifically from Thomasin McKenzie and Anna Taylor-Joy. Absolutely splendid. They do such a good job. So does Matt Smith, and also, I am so sorry, but I completely forgot the actor's name, but I know he's in a lot more movies than this, but I will always remember him as the guy from The Haunted Mansion. Chills every time. And he does that yet again. In this film, every time he appears, I just feel so, oh God, please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. Flawless performance from him, and he was only in the film for like 7 minutes, it felt like, maybe even 5 minutes of screen time. I thought this film had some good built-up tension. Specifically in the final 30-ish minutes, I thought some of the tension was really good. The music choices I loved, and the set. When you go into the 60s, when Thomasin McKenzie's character transports into the 60s, you feel like you're there. So I felt like Edgar Wright did a really good job with the direction in this film, the sequences from present day to the past. I thought they were very well done. However, I think this movie is kind of a mess when it comes to the tone of the film, when it comes to juggling things like being a horror film, but also being a psychological thriller, but also being a film about a girl who's mentally unstable. And I get what they were trying to do with the film, specifically with the characters of Sandy and Ellie. I think the ambitions were there, but I don't think Edgar got it right, where he wanted it to be, where it should have been. And that was just my personal experience, and I've seen this movie now twice. So, I don't know. This movie it felt like a lot of things trying to be something, and wanted to be all these things, but it couldn't pick which one. Another thing that didn't really quite work for me in this film was kind of the character development, specifically with our main star. We get a pretty significant story beat, a backstory for her that's mentioned once or twice in the film, but I don't necessarily feel anything for this certain sequence in her life because we're just told it, and we don't even see a flashback. We don't even go back to her time period as a kid. It just felt kind of like, oh, here's some exposition to be like, let's feel sad for her. Here's the backstory. Here's her backbone in this film. And honestly, it just felt like filler. Let's just have something there to make sure that the audiences feel bad for this character with her on this journey. And it just didn't really vibe with me. I felt like the execution of it was a little bit sloppy, and a little bit sloppy, honestly, for Edgar Wright, because this is another thing that I will say, and it's not necessarily a negative, it is the least Edgar Wright type of film. And when you watch an Edgar Wright film, you are watching his style. And this felt like a film that was like a passion project. And what I mean by that is if you look at films like Baby Driver, Hot Fuzz, World's End, all the Simon Pegg films, which are fantastic, and then all of his other movies that aren't Simon Pegg movies, they have a very distinct style. And I'm not saying this movie doesn't have style. I think it's well edited. Like I said, it has beautiful direction from Edgar Wright, but it's not his brand style, which some people can think that's a positive. Other people will be like, I miss his old style. I see it as, hey, I kind of respect you for doing something different. You wanted to go for a psychological thriller with some horror and with some 60s vibes. That's cool. But when it comes down to the story in this movie, it doesn't really land the mark, because if I'm going on this journey with this character and I don't necessarily feel anything for them, yes, I'm supposed to feel something for them because they mentioned something really sad, really critical for this character, but you don't give anything, like any substance with that, I'm not gonna care. So, I don't know, guys. I would just say this. Overall, Last Night in Soho, it's an entertaining time. Their performances are great. The direction is awesome in this film. And the music choices are really cool. But the story, to me, felt like a lot of hot posh of different genres, and I feel like Edgar Wright didn't know which genre to commit to. Horror, psychological thriller, or an honorary film for the 60s. And to me, the story also was just a bit of a mess. It just, I didn't really feel anything personally for the main character. Now, the themes in this film are heavy. That is another thing. And I understand the gravity of the themes that Edgar Wright was trying to do, and I admire him for that. But when it comes to the characters around that theme, like, I feel the theme, but the characters I didn't. And I feel bad because I really wanted to love this film. This was honestly one of my most anticipated movies of the year because it's Edgar Wright. And this is the first time I'm going to say this, but Edgar Wright just made an okay film. And that is perfectly fine. This is not a terrible film. It is a well-made film. It's definitely not his usual style, but I would say check it out in theaters, I guess, if you're looking for a casual film. But this is not his top-tier movies at all. This is probably his worst movie that he's ever made. But still, to his credit, his worst movie is just an okay film. So, there's that. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. I would still recommend Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright. Let me know what you guys think. And also, quick mention, our site has an amazing Instagram page for all of you guys where we have funny meme reviews, funny movie reviews, a lot of content for all of you to check out for Filmmonger. I believe that's what we're calling it now because we're going through a change. So, please check that out. And also, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button and show some love towards us. Come on, we need some of that. Okay, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day.